Hello, good morning. I'm here. I made it. Sorry about yesterday. Um, it was an interesting day, to say the least. But I made it, and it's Tuesday. I'm trying to find the chat. Come here, chat. There's the chat. Hopefully, let me see here. Good morning, Philip. Hope everybody's having a good day. Oh, good morning. I'm so glad that this is working. Oh my gosh. So I ended up, my computer fried, or it, I can't say that it fried, but it's not, it wasn't working. It stopped working, basically. So I had to go and get another computer, which I had already planned on. Hi, Sally.
Hey, I'm back. I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, it's fine. I wanted to start on time just to make sure, just for everyone, in case they thought that I wasn't going to start again or start
Yeah.
today. So I wanted to, but so yeah, my computer stopped working, the laptop stopped working, and so I was forced to man up and get another computer, and so I did. So that's what I did last night, and hopefully everybody can hear me fine
You sound
and
great.
see me fine. I'm hoping I don't sound like a robot anymore. Good morning, Grandma Magic Classics. Good morning, Tiffany. Hope everyone's having a great morning. Um, yeah, it was just kind of all in one day and everything. But Hank Allen Cash, good morning. So I'm here.
Well, I'm glad you made it.
Okay. Yeah, I
Is that a
am.
little loud on you?
No, that was that
Because
was
I can
actually.
hear myself.
Oh, you can hear yourself. Is there? It's like an echo.
So I'm wondering if my volume is at halfway.
Mine is at halfway also.
Okay,
But
so I'll turn mine down a little bit. Nah, I can't hear myself, so
so you're good.
I think so.
Okay, good.
As long as everybody in the chat's good, I'm good.
Oh, that's good. Hopefully everybody can hear me fine. Hank Allen Cash says fantastic. Got some exercise in, sorted and organized an unlisted inventory for batch listing later. Getting house in order since school is starting back up. It sounds like you got a lot of things done, so that was good. Good morning, Blackberry Thistle Tea. Hope you're doing good. Oh, I'm so glad there's no issues. But you know what? It sounds horrible, but the day is young.
Valerie.
Oh, no, I tried to do my shipping and my labels aren't coming out right. So there you go.
Yeah, you'll get it, I'm sure.
So we'll have to work on that and get that taken care of. I can always walk them to the post office.
Yeah.
So, Hank Allen Cash, I completely agree with that. Getting up a little bit earlier, it opens up a whole lot of working time for you. Yeah, totally agree with that. Yesterday, started out really well. I had planned on getting up, and I was going to do some exercise. Got on the treadmill for 30 minutes, so that was awesome. And I was ready for a good day.
And then the day decided to not.
All I said was I was ready for a good day. It didn't mean everybody else or anything else.
Yeah.
And
The universe decided
know,
otherwise.
yeah. And you know how I am about like computers and electronics, and it was kind of weird because when my computer died, my phone died and I couldn't charge it. And I was like, are we having like a solar flare or something that, like the electronics aren't working, or, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
Ah,
And then my internet went out last night.
that's right. That's right.
I'm like, did we pay the bill? But we
I hear
did.
you.
And
Yeah. You start looking through all your receipts and your emails saying, oh my God, I know I paid that.
I will brand it up.
But
Are we supposed to get shut off? Says, I don't think so.
Brandon's like, no.
Yeah.
Oh my
But it
gosh.
was off. Usually it's not off for that long. Like whenever they do like a maintenance thing, usually it's like, 20 or 30 minutes that, tops. Last night it was like, when did I stop talking to you? Like at 11 or something,
It
or
was about
12?
11. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
about 11.
And it didn't come back on until 5 o'clock in the morning. I was like so pissed because I had slept so I can get up and work. And then I couldn't work because I had no internet. But I found stuff to do. I mostly was like, what can I do without the internet? Oh my God.
I'm having withdrawals. DTs.
And I was turning the data on, because I don't leave my data on my phone. I don't leave it on because I only have so much. So I don't have unlimited. So I turn my data on my phone off whenever I'm not using, when I'm using the Wi-Fi, and when I turn my data on, I'm like, oh my God, I can't just stay on here, because this is going to run my shit up, so.
But if you're, okay, yeah, that makes sense, because your Wi-Fi wasn't working, so you couldn't run off of your Wi-Fi. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And the kids were out and running to each other's rooms and coming in here and flipping the switch on and off, and come on, Mom, it's got to be something. Why you got all this shit over here, and it's like, come on, you guys, it's not my fault. They're like, just trying to figure out how to get the internet. Oh, but and that's what kind of world we live in today. We we don't have the internet. We're kind of stressing, what do you do?
Right.
You don't know what's
Exactly.
going on in the world if you don't have the internet, I'm like, I can go in there and watch TV because the TV was working fine. The cable and everything was working fine. I'm like,
Really?
I don't want to watch TV. Everything I want to watch is on YouTube. I'm screwed.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
I understand.
And I want to go off grid.
I know. I was telling Julie that last night. I was like, yeah, I think I'll just go off grid. And she goes, Mom, you wouldn't last a day.
That's hilarious.
But I mean, I guess in a sense that's probably true, but because we base our business on the internet, we have to have that Frankie's Find says someone opened the eBay doors and let the customers in. Had 4 sales last night. That is awesome. That is
That's
really,
great.
really good. Yeah. Very good.
I've had a couple a day the last couple of days, which is good for me because I was down. My sales were down like to like one every couple of days. It was like really, really getting chintzy there, you know, and I was like, come on, something's got to give. And, you know, I did all those listings the other day when we were doing the challenge and stuff. And then like this morning I listed 15. So hopefully that will kick everything through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I started watching the bin pickers kind of frequently. I really like them.
I do too. I think they're awesome.
And
I
they
think
get some really good brands. And actually they on the video that they were on, they had 2 of the same brands that I found this morning. Yeah.
Really?
Which
ones were they?
Well, one of them is Babbo. Babbo.
Babbo.
Yep. It's like this like breezy purple sweater. It's really lightweight, but it's super soft.
Yep, that's a good brand.
I haven't even looked it up yet. I was making my way into the pile here. And then this one, which is Tribal.
Yep, Tribal does very, very good.
Pretty sweater, huh?
Yep.
And from what I can see, there's like no snags, but it's a silver glitter sweater. Really pretty. So those are to list in a few.
Awesome. So. Yeah, Hank Allen's Cash says people have started buying tons of winter stuff from me. I forgot. Other parts of the country world aren't hot like Florida right now. Yep, that's the truth.
It was 46 degrees here this morning.
Jeez.
Ooh. Yeah, I was chilly. That's why I got my sweaters on.
That's frigid.
I probably should sell this, but
I think it was 70 degrees this morning, so it's supposed to be another hot. It's supposed to get up to 95 here again, so, and then I think we're supposed to have a little cool down of the 80s, so.
Man, sounds like summer there.
Yeah. I mean, you go outside. I mean, we haven't had very much rain or anything lately, so it's definitely dry outside.
It's supposed to get rain tomorrow all day.
You guys have had a pretty good rainy year.
Yeah, we have. I mean, even we have a burn ban right now, which is weird because we rarely do. Usually it's around July, August, September is when we get burn ban. But we had one earlier, like May.
Your internet's like kind of glitchy.
Oh. No, that's not good.
Are you okay? I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but don't ask me to.
I'm not asking you to do nothing.
No, thank you.
Right where you're at.
Yep, I break things.
Well, I closed Facebook off of my eBay page, so because I had both links open, so I closed that. Hopefully that'll help.
Yeah.
Is it still glitching?
No.
Okay, because I can refresh if I need to.
No, you sound fine.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, we got we've been having like rain, and then but we still have this burn ban, which I don't really understand
Huh.
because it's it's moist outside. Like you go walk on the ground and it's squishy.
Huh. Blackberry thistle tea says it's going to be over 100 there today.
Ugh.
It's gross. Yeah. That humidity with those temperatures. Ugh. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Grandma Magic Classic says I got a problem. Screwed up 2 orders last week, sent the wrong items. Both customers are being a pain. I have bent over backwards for the one and I'm still working with the other. You know, when you do that kind of stuff, you got to kind of just shoot yourself in the foot and, take it in stride, say, well, this is why we don't screw up orders.
Right. Right.
I remember Valerie did that same thing. She
Yeah.
sent one to one place and one to the other, and they were supposed to get, it was supposed to be crisscrossed, and
Yeah. It was a pain in the butt, but I mean, and I did the same thing, bent over backwards, and I think I had them ship it back to me, and then I sent them out. There was something I definitely lost money on that because I
yeah,
think I ended up um I actually think I ended up refunding both of them. I sent them the item and then I refunded them because of the inconvenience. Probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, as far as refunding them. I mean, they did get the item, but probably should have done like half, given them a little bit of a kickback, but not the whole thing.
yeah. Well, I mean, you want them as return customers, and but if they're still getting the product, then I
Yeah.
think even if there's a glitch in the system or whatever, I think that maybe a partial.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give it all to them though.
Yeah.
That's just me. I mean, because you still got to make your money.
Right.
Yeah. Frankie's Fine says you can send shipping labels to the customers and have them shipped to the correct person, but then they're doing your job for you. I mean, I understand, it would be less time
Yeah.
if, if they could just ship from there, but
It really kind of puts it puts things into perspective though when you make a mistake like that, because it's like, they don't happen very often, but when they
mm-mm.
do, it's like, man, it's just like a kick in the ass. And it's
Yeah.
like, and it kind of reiterates, the fact of you need to, take your time and make sure that each person is getting what they ordered.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it does for me. It just makes it that much more of an I need to take my time. I need to make sure that everybody's getting what they ordered. That was kind of the hard thing about, when I came back and I had 30 30 orders to get shipped. I really wanted to make sure that I had, you know, the right thing for the right customer.
Yeah.
So,
Also, like anybody that buys the eBay shipping supplies with their coupon because they have a store or whatever, make sure that whenever you buy from them that you're getting what you ordered, because I wasn't paying attention and I got a box and I thought it had, because I had a box of like boxes that was like a starter kit, and then I was supposed to have like a box or a package of bags that was a starter kit also, and it was supposed to have like the padded and the poly and all the different sizes and stuff. Well, I got a box of the boxes, and in that was a was an envelope. And so I thought my bags were in there. They weren't. It was my tape. And so I didn't get my bags. Well, I went to the tracking, and they have tracking numbers. They've done this to me before too. They have tracking numbers that are the same for both orders,
Right.
both pieces. So you can't track shit unless, you know, you're tracking the one and it's saying that it was delivered because one of them was.
Right.
Well, so I made sure to message them yesterday, I think it was, and they said they were going to send me out, you know, send me the bags. So I was like, well, that's crap, you know. I'm not getting what I ordered. They need to.
Well, I am sure with, you know, with that, I mean, they're every quarter they're probably like overloaded with, you know, orders and everything. So I'm sure that, you know, there's going to be mistakes made.
Yeah.
That's
Morning,
just
Eric.
kind of a
Morning.
good morning.
Are you having trouble with your quarterly order?
Well, I didn't get my my bags that I ordered.
Yeah, just open up a case and they'll fix it.
Yeah, I did. Well, I didn't even have to open a case. They just said they were going to fix it. So, you know, as long as they fix it, I don't have a problem. You know.
They will. They're real good about it.
Yeah. Well, I figure they have to, you know, I mean, I understand they have like so many orders and stuff, but, you know, if they don't treat you right, you need to get what you ordered.
Right.
But
that's the bottom line right there. And that's kind of the same way with, you know, with what if I feel like if I make a mistake, then I need to pay for that mistake. Yeah. You know, I need to make it right. So
yeah,
you make it right. I mean, and like I said, they do. I mean, when they messed up on Dusty's order, they told him to keep it, and then they resent it, and they messed it up again. And by that time, he you know, they just said, you know, they refunded him and said, you know, do you want to order some more? And he'd already gotten more than enough anyway, so he just said, no, I'm done, you know. But yeah, they're real good about it. Like, the biggest problem they have is they use the same tracking number for everything externally, what you see, but they have their own internal tracking numbers that track the packages.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of weird how it works out, but they can tell where everything goes, and they know when they messed up. So
yeah,
they're pretty good about
it. I thought the one bag, the poly bags and stuff was in a bag in the box with the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that's how they shipped it. Well, they obviously didn't.
Yeah.
And so I got the tape and the bags, or the tape and the boxes, but I didn't get the bags. So yeah, Grandma Magic Classic says she refunded the one lady, and then she wanted me to send her the items free, so I reduced price, and she now wants free shipping, which would end up me paying her $5 to buy the items.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing. I mean, if I make a mistake, you know, if I screw up on a listing or something like that, what I usually do is I will send the item for free and refund their money. You know, so I'm out the shipping. But if I'm not going to bend over backwards and compromise, you know, basic business by giving away things for free for a simple mistake. I mean, you know, where I'm, you know, I mean, the worst case scenario is you refund their money, you move on, you take a defect or whatever. But and again, I don't know what we're talking about as far as her, but you know, there's certain things that you do to reach out to the customer and take care of them, but I won't be held hostage by a customer, I guess is my thing. Yeah. I'll do everything I can to do it, but I'm not, when you start demanding things from me, you start pissing me off.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. That rubs me the wrong way. So
yeah, I don't have to sell you anything, and that's one of the hardest thing that most people don't understand about retail. And I've said that to many customers. I am not required to sell you a thing. You can have a giant cartload of stuff sitting at the register. If you piss me off, I'm going to ask you to leave, and you're not going to get your crap.
Right.
Yep.
It's that simple. And it's the same thing if you have that, you know, and again, I'm the total, hey, I messed up. Hey, here's it for free. Hey, you know, I messed up a couple weeks ago on an order, and I'm like, I sent them something extra for free because it was my mistake.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I get it. You know, if I make a mistake, I'm going to do everything I can. But when you start dictating what I'm going to do, yeah, that's why I work by myself, because then you just piss me off. And now I don't have to have a boss telling me what to do. It's the incredible Missing Dusty.
You did piss me off.
Hey, Dusty Crop Hopper.
I forgot what time it was. I was sitting on the front porch drinking coffee.
Drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes.
No, I was out at the old smoking table. Though. Still keeping ashtray. Still keeping ashtray. No, it cooled down last night. It felt good outside. No, I was listening to y'all talk though about, you know, refunding when you screw up or whatever, and what Eric was saying just now. I don't want every customer, you know. That's like you said, there's sometimes, you know what, I got the right to refuse service and just move on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't ordered my shipping supplies yet, but what Eric was saying, that was a disaster with them. They only shipped half my, it was 2 quarters ago, they only shipped half my poly mailers. So I messaged them and they're like, oh, we'll send the correct order. And they refunded. Now, what did they do? They refunded those. And then they said, oh, we'll send the correct order. And they only sent half of them again. And so I wrote it back. I'm like, listen, this is ridiculous. And so then they're like, oh, we're going to refund you in full. Keep those. And when they refund in full, it actually gives you that coupon code back. And I just ordered a whole nother 400 poly mailers. So I have like a gazillion poly mailers still left over from 2 quarters ago. I mean, they made it right. It was just frustrating. Whoever set up whoever let that logistics company be in charge of, like, hey, you can have the contract for eBay shipping supplies. They did not do, it seems to me, a very good check system of seeing if they even had the systems in place to be able to handle that kind of volume 4 times a year, you know, the first of each quarter. I mean, mistakes happen, but I've heard more. And of course, you always hear the bad and not the, you know, you don't always hear the positive stuff, but it just seems like they've dropped the ball more than they've done stuff right. But yeah, but as far as what, I mean, we all screw stuff up. You know, I had one, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I mean, I have them occasionally, you know, but I had one a couple weeks ago where the lady's like, hey, you only sent half my order. I'm like, holy crap, I'm so sorry. Keep those, and I'm sending more. You know, I'm sending the full correct order because it was an item I had quantity of. And she writes me back. She's like, no, I feel like paying for these, whatever. I'm like, nope, my mistake. And this is what I insist on doing. And she's like, no, I really, really still want to pay. And I'm like, sorry, it was my screw up. And when I screw up, you know, it's not a big deal. It didn't cost me really anything. And
that's fine. That's fine when they
pay $1 for and sell for $10 or whatever, you know.
That's fine when they're nice like that. But when they come off like, you're now, you know, basically, you know, attacking you because you made a mistake.
Right.
No. Nope. You ain't getting shit from me. I'm going to fight you tooth and nail all the way through it.
Well,
Sorry.
It reminds me of that. What was that lady on Planes, Trains, and Automobile? The rental car lady, and she's like, I don't appreciate the way that you're speaking to me. That's kind of the way I
effing smile off your effing face.
Yes. Good old Steve Martin.
I mean, I got a guy right now that, you know, it's nearing the 3-day mark. Actually, he just got an unpaid item case opened on him. On a beer poster, you know, it's an old from the 1920s or whatever. It's an old lithograph, and it's, you know, this big. It's decent size. And he messages me last night, and he's like, "You mentioned in your listing that it will ship." How did he word it? Hold on. It will ship rolled up in a tube. Don't you think it'd be better to sandwich it between 2 pieces of cardboard? And I wrote, and my first reaction was, dear God, I didn't get to this amount of feedback with being a bad shipper. Like, no, it would not be better. A big flat piece of two pieces of cardboard that somebody just drops a package in the middle and it folds in half, while it's in transit. And so, but I wrote back really nicely and I said, my experience has been a heavy duty shipping tube is a much better option versus two pieces of flat cardboard that could easily be bent or folded in half. Thanks so much. That was last night. He still hadn't paid. So now he got an unpaid item case. And I think it's hard to read he was nice in his wording, but it's, we tend to put a little more emotion into the written word sometimes, than what's actually probably there.
Right.
My first knee-jerk reaction is, don't tell me how to ship,
Yeah, you kind of have to sit there and read through it.
Right.
To find the, what do you call it?
What are you talking about?
And you got to breathe.
Yeah. Yep. A whole lot of breathing going on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, customer service is just one of those, if you're really good at it, it's not a big deal. It rolls right off your back.
Right. You're trying to find the tone. That's what you have to do with when you send written word back and forth. You have to find the tone, because a lot of people will write things in a certain way and they don't mean to sound coming off rude, but they absolutely do. And I took some courses through University of Phoenix, and that's the first course that they have you take is trying to figure out the tone of certain statements and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you write something down and you're conveying information, there's no emotion behind it. As soon as you start using emotionally hot words, then people will take it however they're going to take it. I mean, if you start your statement like you screwed up and you're responding to a customer who's mad, and you say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," that sets the tone right off the bat. But if you sit there and say, if you leave that part off and say the mailing, the item was mailed out on this day and was this day, and there's no emotion behind it, they're going to take it in a negative way because they're expecting you to apologize. And it's like with every offer I get, the first thing on the offer is thank you for the offer.
Hey, Alan Cash says, well, when they start saying F you, I don't give a damn what tone they say it.
Yeah, but see, that's a win for you, because if they go to the gutter first, automatically everybody else who's going to see those messages, if you have to report them to eBay, is on your side.
Right.
And that's the key. You always have to remember that there's Big Brother sitting behind you, has a possibility of reading your email exchanges back and forth between these customers. And if they say that they went down in the gutter, you're a piece of crap and all this stuff, and you're over here going, oh, I'm so sorry, I'll take care. As soon as they see that, they're going to like, oh, this person was bending over backwards to take care of them, and look at the jerk they're dealing with.
Yeah.
So they're on your side. That's the whole point behind any type of email exchanges, is somebody else is going to look at them and make sure you're on the winning side.
Hi, Tara.
Hey. Yeah, Jim was just talking to me. We were listening to you. Jim goes into robot mode. He'll show me the message. He'll be like, well, look at this a-hole or whatever. And then when he responds back, he's like, the first sentence is, thank you for your purchase. You can say F you, you're an asshole, whatever. It's thank you for your purchase. He just goes into robot mode.
Oh, yeah.
Because Eric is right, because you have, eBay can look at your messages or something, or if it escalates where, eBay gets involved with this, then it always looks like you were professional.
I'm writing it for eBay's benefit, not really the customer's benefit. Even with when I respond to a negative feedback, I respond for other purchasers, not that particular person. Because I know that particular person's a jerk. Because I did everything I could to help them, but they still got to be a negative. So if they do that, they're probably a jerk. So, but I'm leaving that thing where I tell them, just contact us if you need any help. I'm leaving for future customers who look at my feedback.
Yeah.
And they
And then we block their ass.
and then we block them.
He's gotta. I kill him with kindness. Like if I screw up, I always put something like "I am so sorry," and I always put "so sorry" in all caps. For my error. And then blah blah blah, and then I explain it all and go into it. And then my closing sentence is usually to apologize again. And say something like, "Once again, I apologize for any inconvenience. Thank you so much for being so patient and understanding." And when you say, for some reason, when you say "thank you so much for being so patient and understanding," that kind of, not all the time. Some people are just gonna be a-holes, but it kind of forces them. I feel like it forces them into like, hey, that mindset of, hey, I should be patient and understanding. If you open with an apology, close with an apology.
Yeah, and I think like most people, like let's say it's a return. I just think they're already kind of thinking it's going to be a fight anyway, and that's why they come across that way. If you send a message where you're easy to work with, it usually settles it down right away.
Exactly, and there's a lot of, my God, we see it in, the different Facebook reselling groups and everything else. There's a lot of people that fight every single return, or, oh my God, they're automatically a scammer, or, oh, they want to return it. They're going to put their old one in the box and send it back to me. And I think that there's a lot of, and I've experienced it in purchasing stuff off of eBay. There's a lot of people out there a lot of sellers out there that just really shouldn't be in this business. They don't have like Eric was talking about customer service a minute ago, they don't have the knack for customer service. If you take everything personally, it's a business. Don't take it personally. Don't automatically assume that somebody wants to return something and, they're a scam. Give them the reaction, which is the total opposite of what they expect. Like I'll give you, for instance, we use these little QB things for charging they're actually for the iPads, but they're the higher wattage. Don't ask me how many watts, 10 watts. They're the ones that are for the iPads, but we use them to charge our iPhone. Well, before you give me a lecture about how that kills your battery because it's put too many watts in, yada, 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 I've been doing it for about 8 years and I haven't killed an iPhone yet. But it charges your phone quicker. So I ordered a couple used ones, that was a couple years ago, off of eBay, and the lady sends them, and they're totally not even what was shown in the picture and whatever else. And so I kind of went into it with like, okay, she screwed up, but oh my Lord, she's going to claim that, I'm doing the switcheroo, whatever. And I emailed her and said, listen, I'm a seller as well. I understand that mistakes happen. Here's a picture of the two that you sent me, and these really aren't even what, they won't work for my purpose. They didn't have the right USB thing. And I said, is it possible that you I was looking at your other listings, maybe you screwed it up with the other one. She came back just as nice as could be. Please keep them. I am so sorry. Let me see if I can find the other ones. And then she comes back and says, no, I can't find them. I'm giving you a full refund. Please keep them and throw them away. Bam, she's going to get positive feedback.
Right.
Of course, I didn't throw them away. I turned around and sold them for about $20. But, so I was tickled to death. But I think your automatic, there's just so, with normal e-commerce, if you're dealing with a company like Amazon themselves, or if you're dealing with, Target, since I was just using a Target box, if you're dealing with something like that, you automatically kind of expect, hey, they're going to take care of this and they're going to make it right. With e-commerce, I think there's so many. Oh, wow. That guy ordered 6 of those, not 3 of those. That would have been a screw up right there. There's so many bad sellers, and eBay had such a reputation for such a long time for having bad sellers that people kind of automatically expect a fight. They expect that it's going to be a major ordeal, for you to admit you were wrong, or that you screwed up, or that, I think we saw a big example here a while back with, there was a seller that was fairly new, and they were doing really crappy packaging on all of their stuff. But yet all their posts on the Facebook groups were always, you know, I'm getting scammed. There's no way that broke. Okay, well, your buyers are sending you pictures of the crap getting there broken.
Yeah.
You know, no, you think you're a good shipper, but you're obviously not. What you feel like is adequate isn't adequate because it's not even making it through the postal system. You know, but this person's automatic assumption was that everybody that was complaining was scamming. Okay, so seriously, you think they broke the item once they got it and sent you a picture of it? You know, then it kind of went down that hole of, you know, maybe that's their old one. It's like, really? You know, it's just business. It's not personal. And doing this, I think there's too much of a mindset with people of every purchase is going to be perfect. Every dollar that comes into my PayPal is going to be my money. No, you've got to set aside and realize that screw ups are going to happen. Post office is going to screw up. You're going to screw up. Things are going to break. Things are going to get lost. Not every dime that comes into your PayPal is going to be yours to keep, period. And if you start looking at it that way, then when you do have to give the occasional refund, it makes it a little bit easier pill to swallow, I think.
Yeah.
Unless you get a message like I got.
What'd you do?
I got a message from eBay. It says, your action requiring eBay item number, blah, 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 blah. It says, dear Eric, we are contacting you regarding eBay item which you recently sold to your buyer. We received your parcel at our shipping center in Erlanger, Kentucky, because it's going global shipping. However, the parcel arrived damaged and cannot be shipped forward to your customer. Because the package arrived empty at the global shipping center, we cannot hold our shipping partner responsible for the loss. I regret the inconvenience this causes. At this time, we encourage you to issue a refund in full to your buyer. Please contact your shipping carrier to start the shipping insurance claim process if applicable. Since the contents of the package were leaking upon delivery, the package will not be returned to you. If you have any questions, please reply to this email and let us know. Thank you all for your eBay business and for taking care of your buyer. It's great sellers like you that make eBay the best place to buy and sell online.
Let me guess, it was something like a shirt or something that can't leak.
It was a case of hard drives.
Wow. So how'd you handle that? Did you just now get that?
I got that yesterday. I called eBay and they're looking, you know, because it's global shipping, you know, they're supposed to be sending emails to looking into it. Now here's the issue. I checked the tracking. They got there on the 18th of this month, so 7 days ago. There's no notations in the tracking about a package arriving damaged. Is FedEx going to refund my money? No. Why would they? Because there's no proof of any type of damage. I got a letter from eBay. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So there's no way that FedEx is going to cover that. So I really don't know what to, I mean, I've contacted eBay. That's the best I can do. So, you know, there's no way this was a leaking package. They must, and there's no way it came empty. There was a case of hard drives. These hard drives are in special foam containers inside the case. There's 20 hard drives in the case. I mean, you've seen the packages before.
Right.
So there's no way that one fell out or something. I mean, if the whole thing was empty, someone ripped it out and took out all the hard drives. Possible. But then there would have been a notation from FedEx that this package has been damaged, you know, when it got there, and they didn't want to transport it back. There's no way it was leaking. There's nothing in there to leak.
Right.
So
unless they use the term leaking, meaning like some of the hard drives. Did you say it was double boxed?
It's not double boxed. It's a box. It's a heavy duty box. And inside the box, there's a bottom layer of foam, which has each spot has a slot for a hard drive. And then there's a top layer of foam that goes on top of it. And then that's taped up and everything. The boxes are super, super thick.
Right.
There's no way that this was a leaking.
Unless they use the term leaking, you know, as far as like the sides split out and some of them fell out or something, but
no, that would be just a damaged package. It wouldn't be a leaking. And first they say the package arrives empty, then it says it's damaged and leaking, so we can't send it back. So
wow. Hank Allen Cash said, okay, it was the seller who didn't have $12 to refund my purchase. LOL. I was the buyer. I was just shocked. Like, damn, y'all must be blind and broke. Bad situation. eBay said to open an item not as described. They did it on the phone with me. Then seller messages me angrily about how I'm terrible and caused them to get an item not as described. Wasn't my fault. That's just somebody right there that probably doesn't need to be selling. You know, and I kind of look at it as thinning, and that sounds horrible. I kind of look at it as thinning the herd. You know, you did what you were supposed to do. They did not follow the rules as a seller. You know, unfortunately, they're going to learn the hard way if they get too many items not as described. It's kind of like opening that case a minute ago for unpaid item case for that guy that messaged me last night about the tube. About, you know, why would you ship it in a tube? Whatever. He's probably going to get mad that I fully expect that. You know, why would you open an unpaid item? Well, why did you not pay? It's been 72 hours. You know, I don't really care, but you just don't take it. I just don't take it personally. Now, from Hank Allen Cash's standpoint, for being a buyer, yeah, I'd be like, that's funny though. Hey, Jim and Tara Carrier here. So, did you see this Seller Hub marketing news? Really, I went into Markdown Manager to make sure. I always kind of check that every morning.
Yeah.
And it said Markdown Manager is going away or something, and it took me to Seller Hub marketing news. Our sellers want. Why is this going away? Our sellers want more capabilities than we are offering in the current accessory discount promotion type. With ongoing improvement and upgrades to the promotions platform overall, we've decided to discontinue the accessory discount offer type in the present form, and we'll look to reintroduce with updated capabilities at a later date. It looks like they're an updated version of Promotions Manager, and the order discount promotion type was launched in 2015. It looks like maybe they're if I'm reading this right, now don't quote me on it. Markdown Manager is a tool used by sellers to put items on sale by temporarily discounting them. While it's always been a standalone product, we're now merging this discounting capability into Promotions Manager. Just look for sale plus markdown, sale event plus markdown, in the creative promotion drop down in the Promotions Manager dashboard.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you for
around is all.
Which the Promotions Manager is not very, I don't think it was done very well. So way to go. Take something like Markdown Manager that works perfectly fine and let's integrate it in something that's poorly.
Well, I've always wondered about that, because if you go to your promotions in your Seller Hub and the drop-down box does not have Markdown Manager, and it never has. You always had to open up the whole page and then go to the Markdown Manager. I'm kind of curious what they're going to do with it. I mean, yeah, because I mean, I still can't get promoted listings to work for single items. I can do promotions. And I do that, but I can't get, like, yeah, because they said promoted listings was going to be available for just single items, and I've never been able to do that either. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I love it when they change stuff. Let's take something that's not broken and let's fix it and make it better. Better in quotes. But let's not take things like mysterious listings that show up, like when I do bulk relist and it warns me that, hey, this is a duplicate item. It's like, well, that shouldn't have been in not relisted because I've already relisted it, because I used to, do it through the listings unsold page. So major glitches there, but let's not fix any of that. Let's go improve on something that didn't need to be on.
Okay, I'm gonna count. I'll let you sit down. Are these?
Yeah, I've been MIA, just enjoying having my wife back. And Danica was here for a couple of days, and now she's gone. So, which I didn't get to spend, like some one-on-one time with Tristan. Tristan was gone almost a month, so we spent the day yesterday running errands and doing things that we needed to get done around the house, and grocery shopping, stuff like that. And then And then we started watching Game of Thrones. That's our new, like, what we're going to do at night together kind of thing. Very deep.
What
Does
is
anybody
it?
watch that?
Game of Bones.
Pretty much. Is anybody, it's wow. I'm like, okay, she's already seen it, but she doesn't mind rewatching stuff. That doesn't bother her to watch a movie 3 or 4 or 5 times or whatever. So I'm like, okay, you know I'm a little dense. And she's like, well, number one, here's what you need to do. You need to put your phone down, you know, which I do when we spend time together anyhow. But like, pay attention. If I need to pause it and explain something, because it's like several storylines that all intertwine going on at one time.
Oh, God.
There's only 2 storylines I follow.
Sex and violence.
The right and left.
How about your other girlfriends?
Hank Allen Cash. No, it is actually on HBO Go, which a friend of ours has. We don't have cable, so a friend of ours has HBO, and she gave us her HBO login.
Is that legal?
Which is totally illegal, I'm sure. Yes. Thank you. Hey, we have somebody Netflix log. Now, Netflix, you're allowed to share. That's okay according to their terms. And we have somebody else's Netflix, and then we have Vudu, which we share. You can do Vudu sharing and share your library. And I share it with my brother and 2 other people, so I get to see their movies that they own, and they get to see my movies.
So you could tell us that right now, does he?
Yes,
legally?
It is 867-5309. That's my password.
Thank you, Jenny.
So,
He uses a pencil.
I have an exciting story.
Oh, yay.
okay.
You're gonna hear it.
cool.
It's actually, and it's eBay related. It's got nothing to do with a tavern or anything. I got this letter yesterday from eBay. Now, what happened, or from the post office? What happened was I had 2 ignition modules. They're $80 a snap. I sent one to one lady and sent one to one guy. Put them in the mailbox to go out in my big mailbox the night before. The next morning I go out, or the next afternoon I go out there. Here's one of the boxes in the mailbox. I'm like, what the hell? I look at the box. It's definitely one of the modules. It's blank. It's a small flat rate shipping. I knew what was in it as soon as I picked it up, because that's what I use small flat rates for, is these modules. No label on it. So I'm like, what the hell? Well, I'll just have to go in and see which one didn't get scanned, and I'll know that's the one I didn't send. Both are scanned. Both departed my mailbox. Both have been scanned. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? So I panic, and one had a slightly different description, the guy's, so I'm assuming it's the guy. So I quick print up another label for the guy, slap it on that box, and throw it out in the mailbox. Well, then as the day, or by the next morning, before my mail pickup, I noticed it says that the guy's has departed their hub or whatever. Well, I'm like, oh my God, it can't be the guy. But hers still says in possession of post office. So I rip the label off again that I paid for, throw a new label on for her, and throw it in the mailbox. And you know, well, then it says hers left the hub before it's after it's picked up. So now I got 2 trackings running for this woman. I canceled I voided the one on the guy, the one I knew is dead. So I got these 2 labels for this woman. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, and somebody's going to say, hey, I didn't get my item, because obviously she's getting something, but it's not an ignition module. So here's the way the story ends, which is awesome, because I never hear from anybody. I'm like, why am I here? Why ain't somebody saying, hey, I don't have my $80 part? I get this letter from the post office. Dear James, we yesterday received 1 small flat rate priority box from your address with 2 labels on it. I double labeled the same. It's like I was in a 3-way, but I actually had made love to the same girl. She just rolled over. Okay. So one label was on the front, one was on the back. We delivered the postage to the guy's name, who opened it and confirmed the contents were for him, which it was. Awesome. So I'm like, oh my God, this could be so good. I'm sending a copy of the label so you can see the tracking numbers. The woman's name was never sent out, even though the label was scanned. The mistake wasn't caught until it got to Athens, and then she signs her name. I'm going to actually get back to them and thank them for taking care of this so good. But yeah, this is what I got was a Xerox. Here's the one label, and here's the other label. They were on the same damn box. That's why they both got tracked, but it wasn't. But I was right to send it to the other lady by luck. I mean, it was just
okay, Jim. Wow. You now have a midnight cutoff time for happy time, because you got to be awake in the morning when you're shipping your packages. That's all I'm saying.
I don't even know what time of day it was when I shipped these, but well, it was they're small flat rate boxes. I had the 2 of them. I must have had it laying. I must have
1 day handling. So was it Friday?
Yes, they're 1 day. They're same day handling if I get them before noon. So I got to get with those modules. I have to really quick slap the label on. Well, I must have slapped the label on, flipped the box open, printed up or did her box, set it somewhere, and then printed up her label and saw that box with no label on it upside down and slapped it on there. And
Jim,
that's how you do it.
You are the only person that I know that every story that they tell, they have some sort of sexual innuendo that goes along with it.
I know another person.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's the 2 Jims. It's the 2 dirty Jims. Because Tara goes, oh, I know somebody else who does it. I'm like, who? She goes, Bennett. He just did that video. Just put that thing up. I can't say anything that's not sexual innuendo. Not that makes it right, but
that's funny.
Jim does it. So, nah.
That's a good story.
Anyway, that was a good first time ever. Weirdest thing that ever happened. I mean, that's just been bothering me since the date it was shipped out, which was the
I'm sure
17th. Yeah, it went out on the 17th. So since the 17th, it's been radar silence. You know, there's no blips, no complaints. The person, because I figured there's a 3rd item out there that must have got labeled that didn't go. You know, I've been seeing all my stuff. It also was tracked and delivered and stuff from that time period. So like, what in the hell could be in this box? It went to this woman. Well, it was the same one box, 2 labels. Weird.
The nice thing is you're able to figure it out.
Yeah, and I never got nothing. I never got a hey, where's my item thing. I never got a message from anybody complaining, so I don't even have to respond to the confusion and complaints. So all good.
Well, the good thing is you would have been refunded though if they hadn't caught it. It would have showed them as scanning the item, so they would have accepted it. It's a priority mail, so you would have gotten refunded for your money and would have got taken care of anyway. So
yeah, I guess that's true.
Comfortable Life said about 2 weeks ago, I sold an item to an eBay seller. They left positive feedback, but said item arrived late. As a favor, I shipped within 2 hours of their order. Item was 1 day late. Kind of pissed me off. I'm just curious how you shipped it though, because if you got it out same day and it still was late,
that's weird.
Then it seems like maybe your shipping times are set. You know, like I kind of do expedited on everything, and then maybe you did set it as expedited, but shipped it media mail or something.
If you had it like accidentally.
Yeah. Right now I have most of my listings as economy, and some of them are standard because I was switching them over, but I'm not going to put expedited because that raises people's expectations and it limits me on what I can do. So I do
I mean, except for really heavy stuff, I do expedited or or I either do just a generic expedited or first class, which is about the same time period. I look at it as a time period, like 3 to 5 days, because I know that. I mean, I hate to say it, but even with media mail, I can get stuff there in 3 to 5 days.
That's why
I just ship it whatever is most economical when it.
Well, that's why I do mine, because I'm setting the bar a little low and I'm smoking that thing. So that's why you see on my feedback just super fast shipping. Can't believe you got it out so fast when they're expecting a little bit less. So for me, it just I'm not in any big hurry. I get it out the next day. That's my thing. I always get sometimes the same day. Like if I had an order came in this morning, it'll go out today.
But do you think that that's affecting? I'm about to go look at your store if I can.
I don't know if it affects my search engine.
Do you think it affects it whether or not it shows fast and free?
Oh, I never thought about that. No, because I have fast and free on some of my lists. Maybe I do. I don't know.
Actually, you've got fast and free on every single one of your items. Plus, you're running promotion: buy one get one 20% off. That shows up as well. Yep. When I look at your store, it says buy one get one 20% off. Then it has the fast and free with the little green truck, and then it says get it on or before Monday, July 31st, and then it has top rated plus. So those to me are all like good search engine visibility things to make your listing stand out. Now you've got it on. I'm scrolling down through here. I went through the first page, and you've got it on every single one of them. So that's good.
you know, but then again, I bought a computer from an eBay seller on Friday. He created the label on Saturday, and there's still no tracking on it.
I understand if it's a weekend, but that irks me when people do that.
It bothers me that you created a label, and yet now we've gone through a business day and there's no tracking on it. That's what bothers me. You know, I don't expect you to ship it on Saturday or Sunday.
The
Right.
3-inch tape, the 3-inch tape people are horrible about that. The ones that we use, that medical mark, was it medical? No, not medical, mark by mail. Whatever that other seller was that we used for the 3-inch tape. Get that water, Valerie.
Well, this is Pepsi. I needed to pick me up because I needed some
much late
caffeine
night
in my
listening.
system.
Listen
Huh?
to that giant load you bought.
Shoot. I wish I was working through that.
What are you doing then? Let's messing with your broken computer.
My broken computer, and then I got a new computer, and then I got the Dymo that I can't get working. I got since I have the new computer, now my regular DeskJet printer won't work. So yeah.
You gotta install
So
some drivers is all.
that's what I'm thinking. That's what Sally told me. That's what.
Oh,
Did
you
you,
got your new computer. Where have I been? Did
you go get that one we were talking about?
Well, I don't know if it was I don't think so, because I think that one was sold.
Okay.
That one was sold out of, but I did get the Adele. It is the all-in-one, and it didn't have as much like all of the specifics like Jason was telling me to get. It's an i3.
Okay.
It's 4 gig and a 500 something or another hard drive.
Okay.
Not the best system, but I got it for $300.
It's going to get you through the next 2 years with no trouble, though.
Exactly.
So I mean, and it's an upgrade over your laptop.
Yeah, and I got a 3-year warranty on it.
Okay.
So it'll serve a purpose for what I need it for right now. I haven't even looked at my other computer to see if it's even salvageable. Because all I got was just a gray screen. It completely it shut down. So anyway, I just got to get my printing stuff done so I can print my labels and get back.
Well, I mean, usually what it is it's just a matter of with Windows 10, you should be able to plug did it recognize your printer when you plugged it in?
No.
Comfortable Life, back to that other, said that that package said they sent it on a Friday, FedEx Home. Only problem with FedEx Home doesn't run on Sunday, Mondays, and I don't think don't quote me on this, but I don't think their packages really move on Sundays, Mondays in transit. They might, but they definitely don't do delivery. So like if you're even in the middle of the country and you're doing FedEx Home to California and it's expected, 3 to 4 business days, it's not going anywhere on Sunday or Monday. So it's going to move Friday, it's going to move Saturday, it's going to move then Tuesday, Wednesday, probably delivery on Wednesday, Thursday. So that's going to end up being almost a week. FedEx Ground is off on Saturday, Sunday. FedEx Home delivery is off on Sunday, Monday. So that could have been what it was, but you may not have had a choice if it was something heavier or whatever. That's why a lot of times if there's a little bit of difference, $1 or $2 or $3 between FedEx Home delivery and just like regular priority mail, I'll just bump it up and send a priority mail because it might mean the difference between 2 or 3 days of arrival, So yesterday I got the bright idea. Trish and I ran all our errands. She said, I need to lay down and take a nap just for an hour. I'm going to set my alarm, whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'm like, I need to go to the gym. I've been doing better, getting back in the gym and all that. And I really don't feel like driving to the gym. And so I'm like, you know what? The state park, I mapped it. And we have a state park up here where we live. And I'm like, oh, it's only 2.5 miles to the entrance. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. Didn't take into account that, unlike a treadmill in a gym, when you walk somewhere, you have to walk back.
And you also have to count the hills and.
So I've got my big old. I keep those old Smart Water bottles. I don't know how many else, like 28 ounces, and I refill them in our kitchen or whatever. And no, it's pretty flat. I mean, there's a couple little streets where it goes up a little bit and down a little bit. 99-degree heat index yesterday. Thank goodness halfway there is a fire station. So on the way back, I'm like, you know what? If I can at least crawl to the fire station, you know, they can give me an IV or start an IV. Oh my God, I got back and I had on a gray, normally I just wear this workout shirt that I have. It's one of those like dry fit or whatever. They're kind of thin, but I decided to put on like a tank top workout shirt yesterday because I'm like, I'll be outdoors and get some sun on my arms, feel good, yada, yada, yada. Soaked. I mean, it literally, I wrung the thing. There was not a dry spot left, front or back, on the entire shirt. So yeah, Tristan wakes up and I'm in the shower. She's like, why are you taking another shower? I'm like, don't ask. I'm in a cold shower. Oh, you know, I find when I walk or whatever, do the gym thing, I have a couple of, I use YouTube because I'm a cheap butt. Tristan uses Spotify because a friend of ours has a family account and they added her to it or whatever, but I'm too cheap to pay for it. So I go to YouTube and I like the dance club remix. If you just search workout music on YouTube, you'll find out what I'm talking about. But it's like popular songs, but they're like the dance club, boom, 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 you know, kind of remix versions. So I found a new one yesterday, and so I put it on, and I've got on, I don't go into too much detail, but not spandex shorts, but I have on like, I cleaned up my closet yesterday, trying to get rid of a lot of stuff. And I think they were swim trunks. They had a liner in them or whatever, and they're like really thin. Maybe they're workout shorts with a liner. I don't know. So I have nowhere to put my phone. So I've got it tucked down in my side, you know, wrapped up in the liner so it won't fall out. And I put it on. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Every single song is in Spanish, but it's like Latin dance club music. And I'm like, I kind of like this. But then it goes into like, a lot of the songs are like Arabic or something. Like, I don't know if it was the multicultural dance club music and what the hell it was, but
kind of like reggaeton, you know.
Yeah.
I still use my old school 30 gig Brown Zune for my workout music. Like the Zune that you saw in the Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2.
Yeah.
That's the Zune I own and I still use. And I bought that in 2007.
Well, we get, you know, we're on the new AT&T plan where streaming video is free and doesn't count against your data. So if I use YouTube, it recognizes that as me watching it, you know. And most of these workout music things, and they have no, you know, like video to them. It's just usually like a still shot of some guy flexing his muscles or whatever. So my phone, AT&T recognizes that as me watching a video. So it doesn't cost me.
I have none of the data, so I don't really care. But
we're doing pretty good. You know, we're on that new plan where everybody gets 22 gigs, but once you go over that, they throttle you. But there's 4 phones on our plan. And, you know, Tristan did a lot of traveling the last month or so. Our bill resets on the 3rd, so we're about 3 weeks into the billing period. She only used 11.7 gigs, and I'm at 6.3. Oh. So yeah, that was my brilliant idea. So I literally like got to the stopping point at the entrance to the state park, and I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here, like crouch down in the shade for a minute. But dude, I killed that 28 ounces of water. Whew.
Now you realize why there's a gym.
Huh?
Now you realize why there's a gym.
You know what's interesting though? What's really interesting to me, and it's literally flat. We live on the ridge line of a mountain, and it's one big old long street with, you know, there's probably 400 or 500 houses up here maybe. And the state park at one end, and we're at the opposite end. And it's pretty flat, but man, I could feel it more in my muscles than doing the treadmill. And when I do the treadmill, it has the incline, whatever, and I put it, whatever it means, I put it on a 3.5 or 4 incline, which is, you know, about like that. But walking outside, I felt it a whole lot more. And I don't know if it's because I was swinging my arm, not like speed walking like those nerdy people you always see walking like this. But, you know, because I was actually using my arms, whereas when I'm on the treadmill, I usually grab a hold of the oh shit bar in front that keeps track of your heart rate and all that. I usually just hold on to that the entire time. So I don't do
the sides if I'm on the treadmill because of I have a bad knee, so I
Shut the bedroom door then.
very easy for me to fall over. So I just put my hands on the side and it just keeps me balanced right.
The problem with the sides on I don't know what brand ours are. Encore, ENCOR or something is the brand of the treadmill at the gym I go to. But the side ones on ours are these big gray plastic things, and they're like this big, like you can't really hold on to it.
Well, I don't really need to hold on. I just kind of, you know, I have an ear issue as well. So what I do is I actually just kind of put my hands on it, but I'm not grabbing on it. It just helps me keep my balance. So every now and then I just kind of push against it. If I feel myself starting to lean a little bit, so I just push back against it. But I don't use the treadmill that much. I actually ride the recumbent bike.
Right.
That's what I prefer. And the last time I went to the gym on Sunday and hopped on and did 5 miles on the bike. I mean, it's, you know, did it in 15 minutes, and then I did a little weights, and then I went and got my massages. So.
Okay, I'm now Googling whatever it was that Hank Allen Cash. Check out Wyson Ian. Okay, it's Spanish stuff.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm sorry, my playlist is from the 70s and 80s anyways.
See, that's the kind of stuff I was listening to yesterday.
Nah, if I listen to music like that, I'm looking for a Mexican restaurant. So.
Hold on, where's my history here? Where's that? Summer Workout Music 2017 is what it's called, by Workout Music Service. There was a really cool remix in here though. Hold on, it was at about the 38-minute mark. Ooh. Love that song. I want the full remix version of that song. Now I gotta go look it up. So that, like, there were some English songs in there, but I swear some of them were like Camel Rider songs or something. I don't know. That's probably not politically correct.
Oh, Mr. Sadie says, "Dear eBay, please fix your site where I can send GSP buyers a payment reminder. Thanks, eBay."
I agree.
Dear eBay, please fix your site where I can send GSP buyers a payment reminder. Yeah, don't send them an invoice, because if you do, it kicks it out of GSP, or that used to be a glitch.
Yeah. Wow, Eric.
Yeah, back in the day.
You know, we don't take that stuff.
The good old perms.
It was flowing.
Did you have a Jerry curl?
No, I used to hold below.
Sorry, I laughed.
Like a big coming to America.
Of course, I used to fix some... What?
Hey.
Yeah, I'm fine. I used to, you know, I used to have my hair about so high, you know. They always say the higher the hair, the closer to, what is it, closer to God or heaven or something like that.
Oh,
I don't know.
Lordy.
We didn't have sayings like that. We had different sayings, but I'm not going to share them on this show. So.
Yeah, Hank Allen Cash. I know. I listen to all kinds of music.
Were you the queen of Aquanet?
I bought stock.
Okay, I found the Oasis Wonderwall dance remix. I got that on my playlist now. Yes.
There's a new. It's a good song. It's Despacito by I can't remember who sings it. Fonzie
I told Tristan it sounded like Ricky Martin or Ricky. What's his name? She's like, that's not Ricky Martin.
Yeah, it does kind of sound like them or him, but
I was like, it all sounds like Ricky Martin.
Plus, he's too busy shaking his bonbon. So.
No, I found if I find music that has the right kind of beat that kind of gets really close to in sync with my like step, that it makes me walk faster. Of course, on a treadmill, if you set the, I do like 4.4 miles an hour, somewhere between 4.2 and 4.5. You don't really have any choice on a treadmill because you got to keep up or you're going to fall off.
Right.
But I realized yesterday the nice thing about a treadmill is you don't have to turn around and come back once you get there.
This is true. Very, very true. Oh.
Sounds like Grandpa's been in a lot of trouble with Grandma Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen to the whole. Here, I'll read the whole story. Hold on. Wow, y'all talk a lot. Grandma's Magic Classic said, I just had to fix another mess. Grandpa forgot to pay a ticket and got his license suspended, and I am upset. But realized shit happened, so been driving him to and from work. So on the way to work Friday, I get pulled over because the cop thought it was Grandpa driving. And that's when I found out there's no insurance on the freaking car. So I got a $200 ticket. Yeah, then got home and tried to insure the car. Because of his suspended license, it was almost $2,500 to insure. So thought my record's clean. And because I haven't had insurance in the last 6 months, it cost me $1,900. I didn't have a car. What the hell would I need insurance for? I feel like I'm in a hole and people I love just keep tossing in dirt. This week I'll be looking for a job because I can't pay my bills, but because I had to take care of everything so done, I will work full-time job and full-time eBay somehow. You can do it.
I mean, it's a viable option. Go back to work this, and then work eBay part-time until you can get yourself out of your hole, and then make a decision at that point.
Yeah.
And the good thing is you can usually get, once you have insurance on a car for 6 months, shop around. Because all they want to see is other insurance companies want to see a 6-month history. Then you can go ahead and buy insurance at a much better rate from somebody else.
I like Geico. I mean, I've tried for years to beat them, and I just can't do it. They went up on my rates a little bit. I just called them and I hit the button for I want to cancel my insurance. And got the customer retention department. I'm like, I said, I didn't realize y'all been like inching me up or something's not right here. She's like, hold on, let me play with that. And she literally cut our insurance bill in half. And then I went into my policy a couple of days later and looked, and she had applied like discounts. Like she put that I was a Berkshire Hathaway employee, which, Geico, I guess, is part of, and Geico owned by Berkshire. I mean, or it's something to do with Warren Buffett and all that. Maybe he owns Geico, I can't remember. Or is the CEO. But whoever this chick or whatever had put all kinds of discounts in there, but it got my insurance down.
I use USAA, and I cannot complain about them. I mean, they have been really good to me, really good to me. So I might be able to find it a little bit cheaper.
It just depends on the state you're in. It's
Yeah, I've checked. I could get it a little cheaper if I went to. I think Allstate's a little bit cheaper here in my state. Geico is not. Who's the one with the chick? Progressive is horribly expensive in Ohio because they're based in Ohio. It's weird.
Well, I did the Progressive thing and told the chick, I said, listen, I can get it through Progressive. And she, I don't know, we're going to beat that. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, but like, because it's weird because Progressive is based in Ohio. They are actually one of the most expensive insurers in Ohio. But like I said, you know, to me, it's a customer service thing. If I have an issue, I call them up and they fix it.
Right.
I don't have to worry about that. I mean, that's, you know, and what's nice is I actually have full control over my policy. I can go in and change things and move things around to balance things out and check to see what it's going to do to my policy. If it's too expensive, I can adjust it here, adjust it there. So yeah, I'll never switch. And like I said, I've been banking there and insuring there for 16 years, something like that. So
Queen City Picker said I purchased a box of Mary Kay blushes from a dealer going out of business, 20 different blushes, about 20 of each one, using Dusty's Sell Similar listing. Made it so quick, just about sold all of them. I love Sell Similar. Find somebody that sold that same blush, look for one that sold, click I have one to sell like this or whatever the button says. If the title looks good and you don't need to tweak it, there's really nothing else you need to do. Use a generic description that says, you know, brand new in the box as shown, free shipping to the continental United States, all else through global shipping program. I just do something like that, and you don't have to type anything.
I had a bunch of makeup. I mean, vintage makeup. It's all brand new, of course, but it's like from a very high-end stuff. I shipped out 3 packages of that stuff over the last month, and all 3 customers came back saying that it was a black runny mess when they opened the package up. Apparently, the heat just destroyed it.
Huh.
Because when I ship it out, it's perfectly fine. It's mascara. It's you know, it's the I don't know, the eyeshadow and stuff like that. 3 different types of, and it all came back, and the heat is just killing it. So I pulled all the listings down. I'm like, well, I'm not going to sell that, so I'll just pitch it. I mean, I got my money back on it, but it's just like, that's crazy.
That sucks. Jason Banana said nothing like insurance talk in the AM. Hank Cash said, I know, right, Jason? We're adulting so hard this morning.
I sold that mid-century light I showed everybody, that big tall one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got $100 for it.
Nice.
I paid $5 for it, and I used it for 3 years. So.
Was that the one that was sitting behind you in your picture area?
Yeah, a big, huge one with the 3.
Oh, cool.
Yep. I have been killing it lately, and it's all because I have been listing every single day.
I haven't been, and my sales are in the crapper.
I sold a lot of small stuff, but then on Saturday night we got a little kick in the butt because Jim sold 3 of those switches. So that was like they were $250 a piece. So that's what.
Ooh, that's a good idea, Grandma Magic. She's the local thrift shop is taking applications. That's actually, I mean, think about it. If you can get yourself a full-time job there and first shot at a lot of the sourcing that comes in, that's a win-win.
Yeah, that'd be a good job to have.
No, I mean, I've decided that I'm going to do at least 10 listings a day if I can get 15 in, depending on how busy my day is and everything. But the way I'm doing it is I get my stuff, and I research it and create my listings, and you know, later on after Luke goes to bed, I take my photos and I put them up.
Good.
Just means my listings are going up at midnight most of the time, but I'm fine with that. I don't care. I got a tote full of antique planes to put up. That'd be next.
I picked up something. Never mind. I don't know where it is.
Also, I'm not buying anything either right now. Today, it was hard today because my favorite auction is going today, and I can't. I decided I need to work through what I have. This is the auction I usually go and spend $300 or $400 at.
I actually went to the thrift store the other day and bought stuff.
Oh my God, Alan, you okay? You don't buy stuff.
She had a fever.
I wanted some electronics and stuff to kind of you know,
Balance.
even out my store a little bit, you know, and because it was getting overloaded with clothes, so I needed some electronics in there. So I got some. I got
Yeah,
what did I get? I got, oh gosh. What did I get? What did I get, Valerie?
I don't know.
Remember. Oh, I got a low brush. It's a brush that spins.
You got some curlers.
Curler. I got lots of curlers actually.
You got what else did you get?
Was it different being in the store in the daylight shopping? I'm just curious.
You mean better? No.
Did you shop the clothing racks to see if there was anything better in there?
No, because I went kind of late and I didn't really have time to do that. But and I went on a Saturday, so they closed earlier. But oh, I got some massagers.
Massagers?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding.
Home medics. Yeah, Valerie started it. Everybody remember that.
I just put one up. I just listened to massager yesterday, but it's from like 1902.
They're home medics. They're like the shiatsu massagers, the ones that have the balls inside that move around, and then and there's heat, you know, and everything. So I was able to list those. One was new in the box and the other one was used, but I was able to list those for a good price. And then I also got a it's actually a massage therapist, or what do you call it? The
paid girlfriend?
No.
Well, you said massage therapist, or what do you call it? I figured that's probably what it was. So
No. Not the physical, not physical therapist. What? Who else does
Massage therapy?
No. What were you saying,
know
Eric?
What it is? How can we tell you who uses it?
No. Like
say it.
The people that work on your back, you know.
Chiropractor.
Chiropractor, yeah. It's actually for chiropractors to use on their patients, and it has like a super long cord. The cord's over 6 feet long, and or might be 8 feet. I can't remember, but anyways, the cord
6
is
feet,
huge.
8 feet, it's all the same.
And it's got all the little. It's got the little ball covers that go over the. This sounds really bad.
It's got little ball covers. What are you talking about? What is this? Did you
the last time I did this, Dusty goes, I don't like this game.
I'm just gonna go to your store because it's killing me. I can't figure out what the heck you're talking about.
I act like I had like smoked pot all day or something because I can never remember shit. But I really don't. But yeah, I got some massagers, and but that one massager I listed, I think, for $60.
Nice.
The thumper, because it's good and it has all the attachments to it. So
that's awesome.
Have you listed that one yet?
Yeah.
Hey Sally, not the not like one of these low sex jokes or whatever they've been going around. But seriously though, when you wash those off, go ahead and spend the extra money and get the 90% alcohol bottle. Don't go with the 70% concentration. Go with the 90% so you can really get them clean, if you know what I mean.
Are you talking about your percussion massager?
The what?
The Homedics percussion massager, the one that sits there and bangs.
Oh Jesus!
Homedics handheld percussion massager with heat and intensity settings. You have 2 shiatsu pillows from Homedics.
Did you find the Book of Prophets?
I haven't even
That's
started
the
looking.
only
Forgot one.
massage thing I see. It's got the big long handle on it.
It's got a big long handle on it.
Long handle.
Is that the one we're talking about? Sally?
Let me
Sally.
see. Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear
That's
me?
right. I mean, come on. How long ago was that?
How long
I
does
just-
the handle have to
Just answer the man.
I did. Is nobody hearing me?
No, we
No,
weren't hearing you answer. We're like, hello?
It was a little. I thought you were asleep.
Shut the
Maybe she
fuck
wants
up. Asleep?
Well, it was like he was asking you if you had these, if this was it, and it was like you were like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said
Yeah. Okay.
I must have been lagging or something. I don't know.
No, you
Okay.
must
I
have
said
been
yeah.
saying yeah. You were saying yeah up here, but it wasn't coming out down here. So
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Those are the 3 I picked up.
okay, so yeah, it's the percussion massager is what you're talking about. So
Yeah.
those are actually really cool. I mean, a lot of people who have bad backs use those. So
Yeah, and see, I didn't put that in the listing, but maybe I should change that.
now you
But
have
in the item specifics, I wrote that it's made by professionals for professionals, and it's the Therapist Select Deluxe.
Did you try it?
Yes,
Did you like it?
yes, but it's not as good as mine.
We're not talking about Brandon here.
I'm not either.
Oh my lord. Okay.
And I don't use my massager for that. That's strictly for my back, my butt, my legs. Yeah.
I use mine on. I use
Mine
mine
is
my back, other space places.
If he's talking about that song, remember the song?
My neck, my
But-
back.
Yeah.
okay, Missy.
I'm hip. I listen to FM radio.
Oh.
Um,
Robin said,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, Eric's creepy. Did you like it?"
I was
spitting out my
about
coffee.
buying one I was trying to keep above board. I was thinking about buying one for my back because I have a bad back, and I was just curious how they work. I see the ads for them all the time for the percussion ones because those are the ones that are. I mean, they're fairly high end and expensive, and I just didn't know how much they were and how they.
oh yeah,
how they
and
work.
that one you can program it to do off and on however you like it. Like you could do hard at the first beginning of it, and then it's a scheduled thing, like a program, and so hard and then soft and then medium or whatever, however you like it.
Yeah,
And that's fine. And
buy that just to put on my pillow at night.
right. Well, I mean, and it's almost as good as mine. Mine doesn't have any attachments to it or anything like that. And that one, like where the ball things go, I just have like a flat head on mine, and it's like that big around, and then there's a heat thing on the side that's like that big, and it like really is intense, the heat is.
Okay.
And so I mean mine's better than this one, I think. And I won't sell it.
No, I thought about buying one because, like I said, I was in a really bad car accident back in 2006, and so I always
yeah. And
that's why I go
also
to Planet Fitness, because they have the hydro massage and the massage chairs, and so I do that like 3 or 4 times a week, just
right
in the gym. So I go work out, and then I do those as well. So
oh yeah,
one a day or two, it just, my back kills me.
yeah. And see, that one, it has a long handle, but my handle is about that much longer, and then it extends another that much longer. So it has a super long handle, but I don't usually use it on myself. I usually have Brandon massage my back with it, but but whenever I do my upper back or my neck, then it's easier.
Okay, I'm just curious. Yeah, I was trying to keep above board. Being legitimate questions. No chat wants to go south.
I got somebody coming for those games today.
Games?
Yeah, I had a whole bunch of games that I got from my brother-in-law. Yeah, board games. And so I just said $10 for the whole thing.
What'd you put them on Craigslist?
No, my yard sale site.
Ah, okay.
On Facebook. And so I just said $10 for the whole thing because I just want to get rid of them. And of course Jim says, oh, you can get $20-25 for, some of those games. Yeah, some of them have all the pieces and some of them don't. I understand, that, some of them can bring some money.
Sweet.
But, I just didn't want to deal with it, and I'm trying to get my garage under control in kind of a hurry. So
Well, I don't blame you there. I mean, you can get it under control while you've got the decent weather, so they can get it all set up.
yeah,
I'll be working on my garage, I think, this weekend. I want to try to free up, organize some space in there, and then that'll free up space so I can actually take some of the stuff that's in here and put it back into my garage, and that way I can give myself more working room.
yeah. Yeah, Maureen Free Pout Picker said that I can part them out. I've tried to part out some games probably a year ago, and it didn't work for me.
Yeah, I've done that with some, and
I think it's some games.
I mean, there's just not a lot of. I mean, it's great for listings. It's cheap and easy, but I stopped buying board games because they're a pain in the ass to ship, and if they're not all complete, then you got to say, okay, how do I get some value out of it? Maybe I can sell the pieces and everything, but I just don't think that's a viable. I mean, if you're just trying to recover some money on something you spent, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was really worth doing. I'd rather just either pitch it or redonate it or something. But
right,
I don't think it's the best use of time. But again,
yeah, it's definitely long tail.
Starting out and you want to build some listings up, I don't sell whatever you want to sell, but it seems to me that the dollars for amount of time you have to spend setting them up just aren't worth it. Yeah, I mean, the last board game, I'll tell you, the last board game I sold was the Trump game, and I sold it during the election. So, because I knew that was a good buy at the time, and I got good money for it.
Yeah.
I do have a urinal list. I need to get that out.
A what?
A urinal.
Oh. Have you sold those before?
No, this is a full. It's about that big, and
Oh.
it's actually it's a surplus Navy urinal. It's lightweight, and I paid like $6 or $7 for it. I can't remember. No more than 10. I know that, but it's.
Oh, right.
I think it's. I had the box in here. I got it out in my garage right now, but I don't know. I think it's a couple $100 at least. But
Cool.
I say that because I saw the other Jason talks about he sold a bidet in the UK for $588 and got broken in shipping because he used global shipping. They're taking care of it. So
Right.
that's true. You just saved yourself $600. Oh, how can you run out of ink, Frankie finds? Is because you're using an inkjet? Never. Well, I'm not going to say never because if you start out with what you got, but that's one of the first purchases you got to make is get out of the inkjet. Worst case scenario, you got to use a laser printer, and you can get it for like $90 at Walmart.
You know, and I didn't know. I had no clue how much ink I was actually using when I was selling, you know, daily. And I thought, oh, you know, I'll get this, you know, refill kit and that'll be cheaper, you know. Still, I was having to refill every like week, 2 weeks.
And the other thing you can always check, and this is where I first recommend if you're short on funds, is go to your local thrift store and look in their computer section. Hardly anybody ever buys the printers out of there, and they often have laser printers in there. Make sure you have some paper with you, but you can you get on your phone, look at how to print a test page, and then plug them in and try to print a test page. If you can print a test page, that printer's in good shape then. And then you can usually get a laser printer at a thrift store for under $20.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a good
even the what do you call them? The toners are not that expensive.
No, I buy my
Amazon.
toner. Yeah, I buy my toner and I pay like $13 for one, or it's like $18 for two.
And there's cheaper ones depending on what your printer is. There's cheaper ones to, you know. So I think mine was like $8 whenever I looked it up, and I haven't needed one yet, so I'm gonna have to get one.
Well, I would keep one in reserve, and then.
But you know,
when it gets low, I change that.
I've been printing on what I have for like 6 or 7 months, and this came out of a dumpster from my work. Because my boss threw it in the dumpster because she said it didn't work. I brought it home and plugged it in, and it worked just fine. And I've been printing on it for 6, almost 7 months. So, so she was doing something wrong. Either that, or it just didn't like her, and it liked me better.
Or she just wanted another one, and because it was a business, she didn't care.
No, she's not like that. If she could have fixed it, she would have herself. But I guess she was trying all kinds of shit and it wasn't working.
I just cannot recommend enough to not use an inkjet in this business.
I just had no clue how much.
Yeah, if you already have one, I mean, there's certain things you got to buy when you first start doing this work. And if you have an inkjet and you're comfortable using it, you know, it's great to sell to get some money up. But that's one of those things that's got to be on your list. Printer, you know, although that's what I use, but you definitely inkjet.
Yeah.
It's just certain things you got to recommend. You know, a decent camera. An inkjet printer, you know, those are the things you need to have, you know, and then as you build your business, you can build into the light kit and the label printer, and, you know, there's all kinds of ways to keep
I'm not even worried about that label printer shit.
No.
I'll
it's
stick
the
with
last
what I
thing
have for now. And
And honestly, I wouldn't have a label printer if I didn't find one in a thrift store for $5. So,
I mean, I could see if you're spending 4 or 5 hours shipping out stuff, you know, to speed up your system. I could see that, you know, if your shipping is taking you so long. But if you're not, you know, shipping out that many items a day,
shipping out 3 or 4 items, you don't need a label printer. And I ship out probably on average between 3 and 5 items a day.
yeah.
But like I said, I got mine cheap. Now the thing is, I have the little brother one, and it prints the long, skinny post office labels, and you can buy those brand new for under 40, or for around $40. So I mean, you know, it's a cheap and easy way to get into it. It's not a Dymo or anything like that. But it's a simple one. So I had the brother 550. I think it's the 550 or the 500. I got 2 of them up there because I found another one at the thrift store and I bought it as a backup.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't need all that stuff. But there are certain things that I would say that you really kind of need, and the laser printer would be. You know, if I was just starting out and I had an inkjet, as long as I had a decent camera that took decent photos, that would be my first upgrade, would be to the laser printer.
Yeah.
Then I would look
Take over a minute, I'll be right back.
Yep. It just doesn't make any sense not to have something like that.
Yeah. I use the Brother. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know, sometimes my camera and sound goes out. I use the Brother, you know, the Brother laser, and it was back when it was first came out. I mean, it's, oh God, this one. Well, I take it back. It finally kicked the bucket, but I replaced it with another identical model that I found in the storage unit. But the first one lasted 5 or 6 years. I didn't kick the bucket. I just needed a new drum, and I picked one up at a yard sale for like $5. So rather than buy a new drum, it was easier to just swap the printer out. But I do like you do. I think it's like $10 or $11 shipped Amazon Prime for a toner cartridge, or I get two for like $18.
Yeah.
And I mean, and they're cheap.
Yeah, they don't last as long as the factory one, but the factory one's $70-some for me.
I've got 3 of the same printer. I paid $49.99 when it was on sale for the first one, brand new. And like I said, lasted 5 or 6 years, and I've got 2 backups, and I paid $5 for one and 10 for the other. So you can find them out there. Biggest thing when you're in the thrift store. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, like I have a Samsung, but I would recommend a Brother because the Brothers are out there everywhere and they're really good.
And while you're in the thrift store looking and debating on one, look online and see how much the remanufactured toner is going to cost you. Yeah. Just put in Brother. What is this? HN420? No, HL. That's the toner. The toner number's TN420. You know, stand there in the thrift store and put in Brother HL-2240 toner, and look on eBay, and you're like, oh, it's only $9 shipped for a toner. You know,
which is going to last you 3 or 4 months, maybe as much as 6 months, depending on your volume. And you know, what's a cartridge of ink cost nowadays? $15, $20. It might last you a month. You know, you'll pay for your laser printer in 6 months, even if you went out and bought one brand new. We'll talk you through that. We'll figure out your printer issues.
I didn't know Valerie was having printer issues.
I always have issues.
Well, you bought the new computer, so now you just got to install your peripherals. Do you have the disc for your old printer?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I might, but
are they? You're trying to get them both hooked up or just one?
Well, I've got the HP the inkjet. I've got that hooked up, but I can't because my Dymo wasn't working. So I thought, well, I'll just use the what do you call it? The inkjet for now until I can get the other one fixed.
Okay.
You know, or get it uploaded or whatever. But it's not like this is what it's printing out now. So I'm like, well, that's not going to work.
No, actually, that's illegal. You can use that, really. That's what I use for my brother. It's a pain, but you can use it. All you need to do is change your settings for when you go to that print page. It's a setting there is where you need to change.
Yeah.
You bring that up, and you want to make sure that you're printing on a fit-to-page, full-size label, and you'll see it come up in the look thing. But those are actually good labels. You can use those. That's the 2.5 by 7-inch label. You cut that out, and you can tape that right to your box. You'll be fine.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I print out every day. That's what I use as my labels. That's what mine prints out like that.
Okay.
So that's a legal label, but it's not what you want to use. But it's just when that print page comes up over on the left-hand side of the box, there's a bunch of different settings over there. Once you change it for that printer, it'll fix it, and you won't have to change it again for that printer.
Okay.
So you just kind of go through, go to print your next label, then we can walk you through it. So.
Yeah. I hate computers. I hate them all.
Well, it's just because setting up new ones is a pain.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's the only bad thing about upgrading is when you upgrade because all your bookmarks are somewhere else. You got to do all that stuff. And
yeah.
That's why I was saying to the cloud.
Well, I have Chrome, and I had my daughter do it. She finally fixed all my sync issues, so now that it should, no matter what system, computer on, I can sync it with, and it'll come back to this setup. I mean, hopefully that'll take care of everything.
Well, welcome to the show, Angela. Maureen asked, hey, Dusty, whatever happened to that one guy's seller that was kind of crazy?
Oh, you're about to narrow that one down.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of
What's up, Maureen? The one guy seller that was kind of crazy. Somebody from YouTube or Facebook group, or somebody that I was dealing with locally?
I
don't know. Like I said, it's a long list, so it's hard to. You definitely got to get that one a little smaller.
Got to narrow it down. But yeah, that's what I got to do a couple of errands today, but I didn't get anything listed yesterday, so I got to do that too, and I got to dive into my stuff. So.
Well, I say your camera looks better on this computer.
Does it look better?
Yeah, it's clear.
And the sound is okay?
Fantastic, yeah.
Good. I don't sound like a robot anymore.
Nope.
Good. I didn't want to be a robot.
So, sounds like you at least fixed those issues. Now it's just a matter of just getting the final setup done, and you'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah, if I can. I was just so frustrated yesterday. I think I just needed like a break from it, and then, come back and try and but, I also have to ship things too today, so I can't take too big of a break.
Yeah, I got to ship a giant lamp.
So it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day.
I go to Costco.
What the frick?
It's gonna be an expensive day.
Yeah. Silver Stacker says, yeah, Valerie, you sounded like Devo on the Scratchy LP album. Yeah, I'm glad that I got that fixed, because I know that's hard to, it's hard to listen to somebody when they've got crappy sound, and it's all glitchy and everything, but
Butchie. Rhymes with Sally.
Tiffany had a question. She says, with detailed selling average rating, I had one a-hole give me less of 5 stars in description because he had bought mystery packs and they were not what he was looking for. Quite frankly, I don't think I've looked at my detailed selling ratings for, you know, on your feedback in forever.
Maureen said,
Yeah.
Maureen said he used to sell clothing and he had a wife and kids.
I have to look at that. I said I haven't looked at mine. I really don't pay attention to my feedback. I mean, I see it if someone were to give me a negative or something like that, I'd see it and I'd look at it. But mine all 5-star. But it's funny. They're all 5-star, but because of the number of ratings, they don't match up. You know, shipping and handling is 619, whereas item is described as 577. Yet I've got 1,200 feedback in this account. So I mean, it's just kind of, you kind of have to not worry about stuff like that. I don't think it makes a hoot's bit of difference.
Yeah. I actually keep an eye on mine just to kind of see where I'm at, but I don't really, you know, look and see what each buyer gives me. As long as it's, you know, positive, we're good.
I still don't know. And he got all crazy on the shows.
What show was he on? Look at that.
Oh, crazy. All crazy. I'm still lost.
Yeah.
Let's start to talk and go, go, go. Okay, now you really got to narrow it down. 'Cause that's me and everybody here. I can't think of who she's talking about. Because it pretty much describes all of us, except I'm. I love it when people have a I do sell one like this and they have the item specifics already in there, nice and neat.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Is there an ISBN number under home and garden kitchen salt and pepper shakers?
Somebody add that in. Now that's what I can't stand is when somebody goes into the item specifics and they add a bunch of stuff, but they leave the ones that are picked for that blank. So you have like brand and brand, and you go. So you got to remove all their crap and actually do it right.
The frick?
Little bolo here, not really bolo, but and I think you could actually make money. But you know, Walmart carries the Pioneer Woman stuff now, which Tristan has fallen in love with.
Yep.
We didn't need the salt and pepper shakers. I picked these. These actually came out of a storage unit. She scored 2 mugs the other day. When we were in Tennessee, she and I had run to Walmart. She bought the butter dish, but I was in Walmart yesterday, and these are like $6.98. Some of the patterns they don't make anymore on the salt and pepper shakers sell for like $20-25.
Yep.
So there you go. I just ruined that for everybody that's out there retail arbitraging Pioneer Woman stuff. You're welcome. Did Maureen give us any more hints?
No.
Does he would maybe be Paul from the other morning show? No, because Paul knows. I mean, Maureen knows who Paul is, and he's not. I wouldn't call him Paul crazy.
And I wouldn't. Paul's not the type to ramble either. So.
I have no.
Somebody said it might be Rakin, but I can't imagine it being Rakin. Although Tiffany seems to have a crush on him. So.
Oh wow, really, Tiffany? Rakin is a cutie though. I picked up a Thunder shirt the other day. I don't know if y'all are familiar with these. You put them on dogs to like.
Yeah,
really tight. We have an animal rescue thrift store or whatever the hell you want to call it. It helps homeless pets. I don't know what that means because I don't know how pets know if they're homeless. I guess they just wander around, eat out of trash cans or whatever. I don't know, but whatever. So I just think it's a really weird terminology, homeless pets. But I guess But I always find like little crap like that, and this isn't worth much. But they had 2 of them, and Tristan wanted one, so we kept one for the dog, and I'll sell the other one. Just little stuff like that.
Yep.
Little bread and butter items.
I need a
Yep,
vest to keep my dog from trying to kill the mailman.
I still don't know who she's talking about.
Yeah, apparently you really can't say YouTube and crazy reseller because that's spreading moves to us. He made out with a mannequin.
Oh.
Oh.
I bet you it's Neil who she's talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's throwing me off because Neil didn't. I mean, he has kids, but they're like grown in college or whatever. I don't know. I haven't talked to Neil in forever.
Somebody talked to him not too long ago. This in the last 6 weeks or so. He's kind of doing his own thing.
Undershirt. Extra small.
Oh my gosh.
How you spell gray, with an E or an A?
Hey.
Hey.
I do this every single time.
Beth asks, who is that guy who never shut up? He lived with his mom in Florida, super hyper, would come on the show and not shut up. Laugh out loud. I have no idea.
What show? Our show?
Yeah, I don't get YouTube.
I am so lost on these.
Yeah, maybe because I don't really follow
Florida? Is that old guy in Florida that lives with his elderly mom? That
Red Necker.
Red Nickerson?
I know he lives with his mom.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is that the guy I bought the pot from?
God.
No?
Dr. Incense Oil or whatever it was.
I can't remember what that guy's
Not
name
the
was.
show. Used to come on the old morning show in Pickers Church. It's been a couple years. Okay, I wouldn't know them. So I don't know, old guy, young, looks like Reagan.
Pickers. I don't know that. No, Florida. What is this, Mom? I don't know. Either I've gotten old or just put things out of my mind and moved on, or I just don't remember.
I don't remember anybody like that on Pickers Church before you. I mean, I remember you used to have Square Deal guy, but he kind of dropped off the face of the earth.
California.
Yeah. Oh, or it was that guy that was after you that, and I don't know his name, but I didn't think he lived in Florida. He was like in his basement and he did a lot of video games and clothes, and I forgot his name. He always wore a headset.
He got kicked out of his own Facebook group, apparently.
Yeah, I think it might be that guy, but I thought he was like up in Ohio or PA.
Jim Bennett goes, whatever happened to that British guy? Always wears suits, has fancy cars and tons of gadgets, always fighting Russians.
Yeah, but which guy? I mean, you know, you had the original, you know, older, you know, great voice guy. You had the smooth. Yeah, there's a lot. That's a lot of people there, Jim. You know.
There was Ramon. That's been like 2.5 years ago. He's a younger kid. He didn't live with his mom or anything, but he had a wife and I think kids, and he used to be on late night shows, and he always had a headset and was in his, I don't know if it's his basement. Larry, you're about 2 minutes behind there, buddy.
Oh my goodness. Inspector Clouseau?
I have no idea. I have no idea where most of anything went.
No.
Yeah. We should go back to the present instead of being in the past.
That's right.
Hey,
That's too much to remember. I should go back to the future.
I told Tristan the other day, I said, there's a huge, she and I were talking, and talk about something. I said, there's a huge difference between, I think a lot of times it's assumed that I don't listen. And yes, I do. I am working on my listening. But I think, I was telling her last night, I said, I'm also getting older and I don't remember stuff. Like, that's just something I'm going to have to accept and embrace.
That's like Jim. He'll be like, he goes, if I don't set something down in the exact same spot, he goes, I'll have no idea where it is. And he'll like find something and go, oh, thanks, Jim, from 2 days ago. Because he's like, I really have no idea where it is.
Mr. Bean, Elton John, Tiny Tim, Silver Hair Stacker's guessing now.
Dad's outside peeling parts.
Dusty, what do you got going on today?
Listing, Costco, have to be somewhere at 1:30.
Where's Mabel in the bedroom?
Yeah.
We went yesterday and found Tristan a chiropractor. She had been going while she was up visiting Danica while she'd been going. She's had a lot of headaches for months and months. And
You can take Cody out.
the piercing she did on her inner ear, the doth piercing or whatever we call it, that helped with a lot of it. She was still having a lot of problems. So she went to Danica's chiropractor while she's up there in Wisconsin, and the guy was amazing. She paid him like one flat fee, and that included the x-rays. And he said, I will see you twice a day while you're up here for a week. And he basically told her, she has no curve to her spine, and that like one of the, I guess, vertebrae or whatever that's supposed to be like this is like this. And she got a lot of relief like that. But he went to a certain chiropractic school called Palmer, and he wanted to find her somebody that did the Palmer methodology. And so he emailed us a list of about 4 or 5 chiropractors. And we actually went yesterday and interviewed. I called him and I said, listen, you were recommended along with about 4 other ones. Tristan wants somebody that has more of a whole body holistic approach that's going to fix, it's not just going to go, oh, let's get your back better and take your money and whatever. He goes, come see me. I'd be glad to whatever. So we went yesterday and sat for about 30, 45 minutes. And he goes, you know what? He goes, you're out of whack. He said, I can tell by just sitting here. And this is what amazes me about it. He goes, I can tell by sitting here looking at you. He goes, raise your hands. And he said, I can tell you right now that you're not going to be able to raise your right hand as far as your left. And she put her hands over her head and it was like this. And he goes, hold on for just a second. And he got behind the chair and he, pop and did some whatever. And he goes, that one's free. But he's really cool. Like our Blue Cross covers 90% on chiropractic with a maximum of 15 visits and $600 a year, which is not great, but hey, it's something. I remember back when they used to not cover it at all. And so I showed that to him and he goes, here's the way I work. I want to get you better. He goes, as a matter of fact, he goes, I've got another business I'm starting on the side. My ultimate goal is to get that other business going to where I love doing chiropractic. It's not about the money. If I can have that business going, bringing in income for me, he goes, I would do this for free because I truly love doing it. And he was talking about nutrition and whatever. So he's going to sit down with her Thursday and do about an hour and a half long thing. And just, what are your habits? What are your patterns? What is your eating? What is your nutrition? He's not a snake oil pusher because that was my first thing. Okay, great. He's going to be like, you need to take this oil that I've specially prepared. No, he wasn't like that. His secondary degree is in chemistry. So he understands a lot of like how things work. Like Tristan told him she was taking sublingual B12. And he goes, have you ever read what sublingual B12 is? He said, it's actually manufactured. He said it is, and don't quote me on this, but he said it, and I don't know if this I need to, Google it, make sure it's actually true. But he said manufactured B12, he said, is actually a derivative of coal tar. And he goes, with your history of cancer, he goes, maybe not the best thing in the world to be putting in your body.
Right.
And Tristan was like, wow, I had no idea. Like, it's, so he's going to go, he popped her neck yesterday for free, took all our insurance information. He's getting the records from that chiropractor in Wisconsin. And he's going to start seeing her and get her back to you know, and he looked at her. He goes, you know what? He goes, it may be that your health is, no, I forget how he worded it, but, you know, so bad or whatever. He goes, you may need to do a 21-day cleanse, or, you know, we may need to just start over from scratch. And
Right.
I told Chris, and I said, if you'll do a 20, I probably need one too. You know, I could probably get some alcohol out of my system. I've had one beer. I had a single beer at dinner the other night, and I've had one beer in about 4 weeks.
That's good.
Not a detox, but I just realized there's a lot of dead calories, and I don't, you know, I'm wasting a lot of time. It's too easy being self-employed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to go, hey, I'm gonna have a glass of wine, or hey, I'm gonna have a beer.
Right.
You know? And here I am trying to lose weight and watch my calories, and I'm on MyFitnessPal keeping track of my calories, going, glass of red wine. I'm like, wow, I just drank all my calories for the, you know, now I can't eat dinner or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, we're just having a lot of do-over stuff. We had kind of gotten in a rut, I think, ever since I broke my ankle. I think that's really when it started. We just kind of became homebodies and sat at home and let a lot of things go to the wayside, and a lot of stuff that I needed to get fixed around the house that I had been putting off. I fixed those while Tristan was gone. You know, hung pictures that I've been promising I'd hang, or you know, just little honeydew things, you know.
Yeah.
Our headboard and footboard, I can't remember if I told that story, but our headboard and footboard are really weird how they go together with this bar and pin thing, and you need a special wrench. And so for 4 years, our bed has been like all rickety or whatever. And I stripped the bed, washed the sheets before she came home, took the box spring mattress off, got down on my hands and knees and fixed it. You know, she came home, she was like, the bed's not squeaky, or the bed's not squeaky. And I was like, yeah, I fixed it. Thank you. You know, it's little things like that that just, it's getting out of a rut. You know, it's like I said the other day, I love YouTube and I love Facebook, but if they're new purple, you know, but if it comes to the point where I'm just spending way too much time doing things instead of my business, then that's, you know, stuff that needs to go bye-bye.
Right. I mean, ultimately, you know, those are the important things. Your family, your business, and your home. You know, those are the important things in life. So you have to, you know, everything else comes after that. So you have to make sure that you have, you know, time for everything. And, you know, sometimes you have to take a little bit away from, you know, eBay and, you know, get your house cleaned, or, you know, do some chores outside. And I'm really bad about that. I know that I've got work outside to do, but you know, I have work inside to do too. And sometimes it's a struggle to figure out which one, you know, takes priority. But
if I'm also, you know, but I'm also not capable of multitasking a lot of times. You know, if I'm like right now, I'm listing things. If I can be in a hangout and it's productive, then yay, awesome. You know.
Yeah.
Why?
I think it's knowing your limitations and knowing your, you know, I don't play games on the computer. I'll tell you why, because I love games, and I would get, I mean, you put me on electronic slots or video poker or whatever, I just would run myself in the poorhouse.
Yeah, you wouldn't do anything else. I have a completely addictive behavior. When I find something that I like, I am there, and I will be there every minute of the day. And, you know, it's not good for me. So.
Oh, Beth said, Dusty, it was Kevin Buccio I was thinking of. I can sleep tonight. Not sure why he crossed my mind. Kevin Buccio was, crap, what was the name of his show? I actually talked to him on Instant Messenger a while back and was going to catch up with him. He lives in Cocoa, Florida. He didn't live with his mom, though. I don't think. He might have. I know he ended up going through a divorce and has a girlfriend now, and he's doing good. He lost a ton of weight. I was supposed to have caught up with him while we were down there, and things just didn't happen. I told him we'd go have a beer together or something like that. But he's doing good as far as I know. Last time I looked at his Facebook page, I mean, he was riding a bicycle and losing weight and getting healthy. And Jim said my guy was Bond, James Bond. Jim said Valerie's voice sounds so nice now. I feel like I'm listening to Dr. Joy on the radio.
Well, thank you, Jim. I'm really happy that it sounds better. I know that it's hard to listen to somebody that's all glitchy and yucky, and that you can't hardly understand what they say. That's a big issue, and I probably should have taken care of that earlier, and I didn't, and so. But it's fixed now. So.
You got the big screen now too, don't you?
I do have a 19.5 inches.
Oh,
I feel like I'm, big time now because I've got this big old screen, and but it's good. It's a good upgrade, definitely. So I just got to get everything else in line and working, and I'll be good to go. So.
And I think it's easy to get in a rut as well. I haven't listed a whole lot, and I've seen my sales go to crap as a result. It's my own fault, my own screw up for doing it. I have nobody to blame but myself. Man, this is some weird. If you ought to see the item specifics on a sleeping bag.
Oh, Jason, I bought a computer. My computer yesterday stopped working, and so I had to go and splurge on a computer. So it's good. It was. Sometimes, I don't want to say I'm a cheapskate, but when there's a big purchase, I kind of back down, and I try to nurse it along as long as I can. And that's probably not a good way to be doing this business and having equipment and everything that you have to upgrade occasionally. I mean, yeah, once my computer broke, it was, I was like, well, that's what I got to do. So it kind of pushed me over the edge to get it done. But I bought a Dell all-in-one i3. It's not the best computer, but I got a good price on it, and it's an i3, 4 gigabyte, 500 something or another hard drive.
Are you using? Is it built-in webcam?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And that was one of the reasons that I got it, was the built-in webcam. It's got the built-in Wi-Fi. I didn't have to buy a bunch of crazy stuff. Not crazy stuff, but I didn't have to buy a bunch of stuff to put along with it, And this is the first time I've ever had one of these all-in-one computers. So, it's not bad. And then I bought the 3-year warranty on it. So, if anything happens to it, just send it back. But I'm going to try and see if I can't get this other computer up and running, and that way I can just have that one for my my backup. So. But I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for the day. And glad everybody came and joined us. And we had a great show. And if you get a chance, go and like the show if you liked it. If you didn't like it, well, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
You can sit on attack.
There you go. There you go. But hope everybody has a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.
See ya.